Bedroom playlists are the biggest lie that we have had in a while. I don't care who wants to tell me something different, but they are a lie. We do not use them at all. And I'd like to get into this, but we have a fancy new intro, so let's hit it.
Get ready for the battle of the sexes.
Welcome to Break Time on Westside, your number one break time podcast, coming to you from Nairobi, Kenya. The man on the mic is none other than the tall man himself, your tall, dark, and mildly handsome Sir Denver B. And this is Battle of the Sexes, the days of our lives of the Break Time on Westside set of series, meaning that it's just been there for a long ass time, but you know, we can always forgo that bit. And goodness my, back to the bedroom playlists thing. When you actually think about it, bedroom playlists are probably one of the biggest lies that, I don't know if it's DJs that gave it to us or if it's just a bunch of women that came up with that term. I don't know. Like, it's just something that materialized out of like thin air and is a pretty big lie. Because think about it like this. If you were to ever set up a bedroom playlist, when you're actually in the motions of smashing, it's not like you guys will do it any better with that playlist in the background. Hell, you might even do it a little bit worse, because imagine y'all are busy giving it to each other and say you're listening to a little bit of that Usher. Actually, let's even pick something a little bit better. Let's get Tony Braxton, Spanish Guitar. That one works pretty well. You're both enjoying that song. I kid you not. I would stop midway and then start singing along. I wouldn't even care about the banging, because the music is just that good. And honestly speaking, I don't think they need to be called bedroom playlists, because we're not going to use them to smash. Honestly, I think people just use bedroom playlists to either set the mood when, say, just before you guys make love, or it's something to listen to when you're horny or when you're in the fields. But like for actual bedroom shit like smashing, that shit's a lie. That shit's a proper lie. But anyways, that being said, Battle of the Sexes, your number one podcast series that covers matters love, sex, and relationships, is here with us. And yes, we have a new intro, and not just a new intro and outro, but a really nice set of instrumentals in the background. We can just listen to them for a bit here. Yeah, that being said, I would like to extend my thanks beyond episode 100. If you didn't listen to episode 100, which happens to be the episode that I did just before this one, it covers my thanks and my appreciation, considering that we clocked over 100 episodes and so on. And that's just me reminding you guys to go and listen to me just, spilling my guts out and being honest and heartful. Anyways, that being said, on to something that was pretty popular over the past weekend. They call it the Entanglement. It's been around for about a week and a half, close to 2 weeks there. And it involves a black celebrity, and more so a black celebrity couple that a lot of us have looked up to for a long time. I'm talking about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, here's the thing. I personally would not have jumped onto this bandwagon of stories and picking sides and shit, but I'm not gonna lie to you. This story sounds so good that I'm pretty much just throwing my hat into this one. I'm pretty much going with the trend, and I'm not doing my regular stay off the trend type shit that I normally do, just for the sake that some of y'all need a bit of context on this, or at least y'all need to think about it a little bit differently. So for those of y'all that don't know what happened over the weekend, say you were living under a rock or something and you did not know what the internet was or what Augusta Alsina did, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Augusta Alsina was doing an interview on the Complex YouTube channel, which was being done by Angela Yee. And for that entire interview, people actually ignored most of what he said. But there was this 5-minute period where he spoke about his relationship with Jada Pinkett Smith, Will's wife. And it's like they've been canoodling together, they've been going for movie premieres together, they've been going for family trips together with the rest of Will Smith's family and shit. And it really hit quite a lot of people. Like, it sent the internet on fire. And for some reason, it's like people are like, you know what, we need to get some context to this. We need these guys to explain this further. So, in the interest of doing that, and mainly because Red Table Talk also needs increased viewership and shit, Jada decided to have a Red Table Talk episode with Will this past weekend and discuss the entire ordeal. And that was when she brought out the term, the entanglement. And yes, that's what it is. Now, everyone's gone off, and people have gone off in some of the funniest ways possible. There's been guys that have called Jada predatory, which is just wrong. Like, how the fuck do you think that stupidly? Like, whenever I say that, you know what, if women are saying this, then we should apply the same thing on guys as well. I'm not saying that we take everything and we apply that exact same way. I'm using that just so that I can nullify and negate some of the shit that they do. I'm not saying that you should actually do that. Normally it's women that go and call guys predators. But I think as guys, we know very well that it's not exactly what you'd call a predatory move. Both of them were full consenting adults. August was 20, woman was like 41, even though there was a 21-year difference. Well, let's just get it for what it is. It was two adults having consensual fucking sex. So by all means, I don't think there's anything predatory in that, regardless of what gender is older than the other. And honestly, if it was up to me, I'd probably also go and hit Jada Pinkett Smith. And let's be honest, Will Smith has received the worst piece of all of this. August Alsina is planning on releasing an album sometime in August, I'm guessing, because of his name and shit. And I'm guessing this is perfect publicity for him. So in one way or another, you actually send you look at it, like this seems like something that was entirely for August Alsina's benefit, because man's got an album, he's trying to get himself, you know, a little bit more publicity before the album comes out, which works to his favor. But apparently, according to DMs that he had with Michael Blackson, it's not exactly the case, because apparently, according to Michael Blackson, or at least according to Michael Blackson's post, which is a screenshot of the DMs that he had with August was saying that he was in love and she broke his heart. And when he was being asked why expose that shit on like radio and to the public, he was like, I tried to call Jada, but she changed her number and went back to the guy from Men in Black. And the guy was like, my heart was bleeding from the outside to the inside. And when he was being asked, like, what exactly is all of this? Man was like, I was pussy whipped. And eventually when he was being asked, was it an entanglement or a relationship or like, what was it? August Alsina comes out and is like, it was an entangleship, a combination of both. Now, I'm gonna be straight with y'all. I honestly have nothing against the Smiths, if we can call them that. Yes, I have nothing against the Smiths in terms of them choosing to have an open marriage. Apparently, they were even separated to some degree. And, you know, the entanglement just happens to validate most of the shit that women now are gonna start doing and saying. They cheat on you, they'll call it an entanglement. Just wait. Just wait for like a month and you'll hear all of the cheating cases being called entanglements. But that being said, I have problems with all three of them. Like, honestly, out of all of them, both August, Jada, and Will, I have issues with all three of them. And most people might think, you know, the problem was with August or it was with August and Jada. I think it was all three of them. Because when you look at it, this expose, or at least this story, works to the benefit of Jada and August. Yes, with August, it's a little bit more direct, because mans will be trying to sell an album soon, and this is the publicity that he needs. When you look at Jada, this doesn't directly improve shit for her, but it kind of does in a way. Because the way people waited and probably subscribed to the Red Table Talk and sat down to listen to what Red Table Talk is, sort of gives it a better notion that they could come back for more, probably waiting for her to expose more about it, or probably they found another episode and listened to it. Thus meaning that she got new followers because of this shit. Just like this publicity gave her an extended platform to use Red Table Talk in terms of exposing a certain issue, which would give her more reach. So yes, she also does stand to benefit. But the person that gets to suffer the most is Will Smith. Like, no word of a lie. This guy has literally suffered. Just from 50 Cent and Michael Blackson alone, I honestly feel sorry for this guy. I feel a little bit more sorry for Joyner Lucas for making that Will song.
Yeah, I'm feeling like Will. I feel like a prince. I'm feeling myself.
Because right now, I don't think I'm feeling like Will. You know what I mean? So, so in a sense, when you actually sit and think about it, Will is the biggest loser out of all of this. Because the streets think that he was soft or he couldn't do shit. And his family doesn't look as good as it used to. His public image is kind of ruined and shit. You could say man's kind of did lie to us on that line over there, you know?
I give Jada 1,000 kisses, ain't nothing changed since '02.
But when you look at why everyone is to blame, or at least for me to explain why everyone is to blame, you have to put them all in their own individual boxes. So August violated the side piece rules, and he violated 2 of them. If you all want to know what the side piece rules are, I have an episode on it somewhere along the catalog of 100 episodes that I happen to have done over the past year. There's one called Side Piece Do's and Don'ts. Go look for it. It should be somewhere down the catalog. And the first rule that he violated was, well, the most obvious one. You do not expose the main's family business. You do not expose the affair that the both of y'all are having. Regardless of the situation, you're not supposed to expose it. Because when you're in a side piece relationship, it's like an NDA but without an NDA. You feel me? Because there's a reason why you're a side piece and not the main thing. And it's so that you can be, you know, in the background and shit. And when you look at the second rule that he violated, it's a little bit harder to spot, but at least from the Michael Blackson DMs, mans fell in love. You don't fall for your main. Like, you are not the one who's supposed to fall in love. If your main falls in love with you, then maybe that's okay. But you're not supposed to be falling in love. And yes, I know we can't control it and it happens, blah blah blah. Unicorns can fly, you know, rainbow at the other end of the side, blah blah. But when you think about the idea of being a side piece and the fact that the main has a family, the main has someone there, they probably love the main, or at least they love their wife, their girlfriend, their husband, their boyfriend, their fiance or some shit, and you're just there to fulfill a certain need. So you're not supposed to be falling in love in there. I'm not saying that man isn't supposed to listen to his heart, but nigga, you're not supposed to fall in love, and if you do, you shove those feelings somewhere right up Main Street. I'm just saying. Then let me go and look at Jada for 1 second. Jada, how do I say this? Jada Pinkett Smith. Like, that shorty has single-handedly ruined the Will Smith name and the Smith family for at least a bit of a while. Because if you're gonna drop a nigga, at least find a nice cushioned way to drop a nigga so that he doesn't just go and expose stuff. But then again, we don't know if they coordinated this whole thing so that they could blow each other up in one way or another, because like I said, they both do stand to benefit. And look, if you're gonna have a side piece, you're not supposed to be seen in public with them. That way you get to defend yourself, because if you're taking a nigga to movie premieres, then you're screwing up. You're violating, you know, the rules of engagement to the side piece. You're supposed to leave them in the background. Now you bring them to the front, and the minute they choose to speak up, you're already caught in the crossfire and you can't even defend yourself if you weren't involved in it. If you were, then well, it still works to your advantage. And now man like Will. Ooh, my nigga. I don't know how to say this in a nicer way. You should have gotten ahead of this whole situation. Like, going and doing the red table talk, fine, yes, it brings out some level of honesty, but in terms of like a PR perspective, in terms of saving your reputation, you should have come out in front and like just gone and said, I had no information of this, I did not like what happened, I do not stand by what August Alsina says. If I knew that this was happening, I'd have spoken out against it. I'd have gone and personally, if it was me, I'd have gone and I'd have made it look like, you know what, Jada did not plan this. She did not run this by me. I have never agreed to this. I did not know that this was happening. And this man is ruining my family. Just like that. Go, make sure you come out in front and be like, I didn't know. That way, at least you get to save your own personal reputation. But mans just sits and is like, you know what, I messed up and I didn't know that you were in this and this, and we ride together and we struggle together. Bad marriages for life and some shit. Bruh, are you mad, cuz? Like, shit. Like, I don't get how it is that you'd get out and sit down and admit publicly that, you know what, I screwed up and I've done ABC. Like, I'm okay if you admit that you screwed up, but do that like later on. Don't go ahead and admit that, I screwed up and our marriage wasn't the best and we were separated, but blah blah blah. Like, I won't believe in admitting to things immediately they happen, because sometimes it just works to your detriment, which is happening right now. If you go and you look at Michael Blackson's post, like, the guy went and posted up one of the DMs that he had with Will, and 50 Cent did the same, because 50 Cent was like, why'd she tell you shit like that on a show for everybody to see? And Will is busy trying to defend himself, and that time man is like, then she said only she can give permission for somebody to blow her back out. This was the first time I think I ever saw Will Smith using the F word. Like, this guy prides himself on not cussing on his music, and I think also on TV. Michael Blackson didn't even make it any easier for him. Like, mans went all in and was like, I had a feeling you cried when you got in the house because Entanglement sounds like they did some freaky shit, my brother. So Will Smith is like, what the fuck you mean? Mans is like, well, Entanglement is like a compromising and complicated position. I think he ate her ass from the front. Oh, goodness shit. And Will has to take all of this because mans just admitted to it and was okay with it and just tried to act as normal as possible and admit that they had problems. This is why being honest sometimes has its problems. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was good that Will was honest. It's just that mans did not properly plan everything, or at least he didn't think through the repercussions of going through and being completely honest on Red Table Talk. Because if mans would have gone out and said, you know what, I thought you'd have done better, blah blah blah, like, mans would have at least saved his face or some shit. But anyways, that being said, I feel sorry for Will, because he's pretty much getting the butt of all jokes for at least the next week or two. And for Jada and August, well, good luck to y'all. Your publicity has clearly helped y'all. And for Will, I'm sure he's not looking forward to next month, because, well, Entanglement. Anyways, I want to know your thoughts on this. You can hit us up on Instagram, slide into our DMs. We always reply. It is at Breaktime on Westside. On Facebook, you can hit us up at Breaktime on Westside. And on Twitter, if you want to slide into my DMs personally, it is at Bagaka. The D, the B, and the D are capital. We'll catch you on the next break. Peace.